Okay, good morning students. So today we will continue with our chapter that was air. Okay, we are doing chapter air. So as we know, first of all we talked about air. That means what are the properties of air. So we came to know that air is colorless. That means it has no color. It is tasteless. It doesn't have any taste. It is odorless. That means it doesn't have any smell. Okay, and another point that air is not visible by our eye, by our eyes. Rather, we can feel it. We can feel it when it blows. That means we can feel it with our skin. Okay, the sense organ. Okay, so this was all about the properties of air: colorless, tasteless, and odorless. Same properties is with the water also. Is with the water also. Water also has the same properties. It is also colorless, tasteless, and odorless. Okay. Then uses of air. What are its uses? A simple use. Basically, air is very much important for living things. Okay. That means the gases present in the air is utilized by both plants and animals. Okay, both plants and animals. And air also helps in other things also by performing various things. As for example, in a windmill, okay, to generate electricity, air is used. Then another uses, it is used for capillary motion also. There are various uses we will talk. Okay, then we talked about its constituents. Constituent means what does it contain? So basically air contains nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, noble gas, and water vapor and dust particles. Water vapor and dust particles. Okay, so we came to know that air contains nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, noble gases, water vapor and dust particles, and these constitute, they form a atmosphere. Okay, it forms a atmosphere. And regarding atmosphere, we talk that atmosphere is a layer of gases. A layer of gases which is present at the surface of the earth to some extent. So in case of earth, it is present up to how much? 100 kilometer from the surface of the earth. That is, from the surface of the earth, the sea level, it is presented up to 100 kilometer, where we have different layers. We have troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, exosphere. Okay, these are the layers of the earth, and most of this air, they are present on the troposphere. That means just above the surface of the earth. Okay, after that, when we move further, the amount of gases present in the first layer, that means the troposphere, will reduce till exosphere, and after exosphere there is no air, it is empty, it is a vacuum. Okay, it is a vacuum. We can't say that it contains other things. Another important thing, apart from Earth, other planets in our solar system, they also have gases present in it. They also have atmosphere, but that atmosphere is not suitable for living things. Okay, either the composition is not suitable. As for example, we talk that oxygen, okay, oxygen to nitrogen, the ratio is 4:1. That means if 4% of nitrogen is there, 1% of oxygen is present in the earth, that means in the air. Okay, so now we will move towards its proportion, percentage by volume, and its chemical formula. That means chemical formula of few gases present in the air, or you can say in the atmosphere. Composition of air. So air is mostly composed of, number 1, nitrogen, number 2, oxygen, number 3, carbon dioxide, number 4, we have noble gases, number 5, water vapor, and last, smoke and dust particles. Dust particles. Okay, smoke and dust particles. So basically we have 6 composition in air: nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, noble gas, which include neon, xenon, argon, etc. Okay, and other gases in a very trace amount, that means in a very little amount. So first of all, let's talk about that what percentage does this gas occupied in terms of the composition. So nitrogen contains almost 78% of the air. That means almost more than 3/4, you can say. Okay, more than 3/4% of the earth is covered with nitrogen, and as we all know, it is natural. That means nitrogen, the source of nitrogen is natural. Then oxygen. Oxygen contains almost 21%. Okay, almost 21% of the air. Then rest 1%, carbon dioxide, noble gas, water vapor, and smoke. In that, the percentage of carbon dioxide in the air is 0.03%. 0.03%. And noble gases, that means the gases which contains neon, xenon, argon, krypton, okay, helium, there are almost 0.93%. That means less than 1%. And at last, water vapor, smoke particles, they contains almost how much? 0.06%. So if you calculate this percentage, you will get 100%. You will get 100%. Where maximum percent is that of nitrogen, then almost 21% is oxygen, carbon dioxide, noble gas, water vapor, smoke, dust particles. So here also the nitrogen is mostly used by plants from soil. Okay, oxygen is mostly used by animals during respiration. Carbon dioxide used by plants in the preparation of food. Preparation of food. Okay, then noble gases, neon, xenon, argon, krypton, okay, helium, they have other uses. Water vapor, which is very much important, because if you don't have water vapor present in the air, okay, few things can't be done. As for example, during evaporation, okay, this water vapor gets accumulated in the air when it becomes light, and further accumulation causes clouds, okay, which later fall down as rainfall or precipitation. And smoke, dust particles, they are the pollutants present on the surface of the earth, okay, which is in a very light amount. So this was about percentage, and as we know, the percentage, we will talk about its formula. The formula of nitrogen is N2. Okay, formula of hydrogen is N2. Oxygen is O2. Carbon dioxide is CO2. Okay, then we have xenon, argon, we have the formula differently. Water vapor, we can write H2O, same as water, okay. And in a higher classes, we will talk more about chemical formula of other elements present in the earth, okay. These are gases, we have other gases also, we have metals, we have non-metals and other things that we will discuss in our higher classes. So these all things are present in the air, but somehow this carbon dioxide, water vapor, smoke and dust particles can be in different composition. That means the percentage can either rise or can either fall depending upon the places in our earth, okay, depending on the places. So all these gases have very low solubility in water. All of the gases in air, carbon dioxide is the most soluble gas in water. That means these all gases have less solubility. Less solubility means they dissolve less in water, okay, and the more solubility in all these gases is carbon dioxide, Okay, so oxygen also dissolve in water through to a low level. Rainwater therefore dissolves these gases to a very small extent. Therefore, the composition of the air, except water vapor, remains almost unaffected by the rainwater. Okay, that means these all things are present in the atmosphere. So when rainfall occurs, so what happened? In our normal sense, we think that these all gases, when dissolved in water, will get attached with the water and go in the ground. But it's not that, because they are less soluble. They are less soluble. Okay, if these gases, they have more solubility than all the gases during rainfall or during precipitation, they could have gone into the ground. Okay, but it's less soluble. So this percentage remain constant. This percentage remain constant, that is fixed. Okay, that is fixed in the earth as a whole, but if we take case of a forest, okay, if you take the case of a forest and to that of you can say cities, what will happen? In forest area, the amount of water vapor will be more and the amount of oxygen will be a little bit more. That means oxygen can be about 23% of oxygen. Okay, and carbon dioxide can be reduced. That means 0.01, 0.02%. Okay, because they have more vegetation, they have more trees, they have more plants. Okay, similarly, water vapor present in the forest is more, because during evaporation or during transpiration from the plants, the water vapor gets accumulated in that area more. Okay, and that accumulation of water vapor is termed as humidity. Okay, we will talk the term later on. Whereas in the cities, okay, the amount of carbon dioxide will be a little bit higher. It can be 0.4%, 0.04% or 0.05%, because in cities there is more exhaust of what? Vehicles, fumes, industries, factories. Okay, so that releases more carbon dioxide. Okay, so this was all about composition of air. So to percentage of carbon dioxide, water vapor and dust smoke particles in the air keeps changing from time to time and from place to place. That means if we say that during winters, the amount of water vapor decreases, whereas during the rainy season the amount of water vapor increases, because at that time we have more rainfalls and evaporation also takes place maximum. Okay, so mostly carbon dioxide and water vapor, they have variation at different places. Okay, so for example, the air around any industrial areas contains more carbon dioxide, as I told you. That means in cities we have more industrial areas, that means we have more pollution. Say for example New Delhi is regarded as the most polluted cities in India. Okay, so the amount of carbon dioxide present in Delhi is more as compared to Shimla, okay, or as compared to what you can say Srinagar. Okay, so this is all about the variation in what you can say variation in the percentage of composition of air. Okay, now we have different experiments which proves that the percentage of nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide in the air. Okay, how this percentage has been taken out. Okay, we can't just see the air. Okay, we can't see its composition. That means we can't figure it out. Yes, this percent is nitrogen, this percent is oxygen, this percent is carbon dioxide. But with experiments in the laboratory, okay, we can figure it out. Okay, so to show that air contains nitrogen and oxygen in the ratio 4:1 by volume, we have an experiment where a beaker is taken, water is taken, and a candle is taken, where amount of nitrogen and oxygen can be figure it out. Okay, similarly the presence of carbon dioxide in the air also can be figured out by experiment in taking a sample of lime water in a test tube, okay, which turns milky. That means when reacts it will turn in another color. Okay, that means it's a chemical, it will change into chemical composition. Then presence of water vapor in the air. Okay, we have another thing, presence of water vapor in the air, where ice cold water and few ice cubes in a beaker and place it in a table. Okay, so when that ice will melt, okay, it will be reduced. So where does it will go? It will accumulate in the atmosphere as water vapor. Okay, and presence of dust, smoke particles, it can be seen at every places. Okay, we can when we just swipe the window, we can see it. When we swipe the car glass, we can see the dust particles. Okay, because it get attached to it. Okay, that can be seen. So this was all about composition of